Hi, my name is Bailey Gilmore, and I'm going to be going over epigenetics today with you. First off, we're going to talk about what is epigenetics, as known as epigenome. Now, these have to do with your environment and your behaviors throughout your entire life, even before you were born. Now, they do not change your DNA sequence, but they can alter the way your body reacts to it. Now, here, everyday life and epigenetics. Now it could do many things. Your epigenetics could change by your social reaction, toxic chemicals, the exercise and diet you have, and these are just a few things that could change your epigenetics, but there's many more. Okay. What makes up an epigenome? Now there are a bunch of chemical tags tied to epigenomes. But this is a natural process of development and tissue differentiation. And they could be altered at any time in your life due to, your things that happen in your everyday life, to disease, to cancer, to pregnancy, any kind. Now, how does it work? Now, there's 3 ways it is explained how it works. Now, the first is DNA methylation. Now, this works by adding a chemical group to your DNA. It's added in specific places and it blocks proteins. And it is giving the DNA like a yes or no if it could read the gene or not. Basically turning it on and off. And histone modification. Now, they're known as proteins that the DNA wraps itself around. Now, depending on if it's loose or tightly wrapped around it is going to tell you if it can read or not read the gene. Now, non-coding RNA. It's used to make up proteins, and your non-coding RNA control gene expression by attaching itself to coding RNA. Now, this also could go into detail with your histones. And it could recruit proteins to modify your histones. Now, here's an example of, it says your diet, age, and drugs, and where it is placed in your DNA, your gene, and how it works here. You see the histones, okay, and health endpoints, cancer, your mental disorders, diabetes, anything like that. And now here it says histones are proteins around which DNA can win for compaction and gene regulation. So it's just basically showing you the process. Now, is this inherited? Yes, they are passed down from parent to offspring. Everybody has them. Everybody's is different. And it can be added or deleted from anybody's at any point in time. Now, what is it? Imprinting. Now, it just like your DNA, it contains genes from your mother and your father's side. Now, how can it change? Now, there's many ways it could change, but there is 3 main ones of how it could change. Your epigenetics and development. Like I said before, it could start before you were even born. Now, your cells do look and act differently, even though they all have the same cell genes, like it says here in the slide. Epigenetics and age. Now, like I said before, it could happen before you're born. Your epigenetics is not going to be the same as they were when you were a baby, to a teen, to an adulthood, to even an elder. Like I said before, you could add them, they could take them away. Epigenetics and reversibility. Now, just like I said before, they can be added or taken away at any point in time. They're never going to be the same, and it's all due to your environment and your behaviors. Epigenetics and your personal health. Now, like I said before, your epigenetics change in different ways, and here are some examples of the main ones. Infections. Now, of course, we all know germs could weaken your immune system. which causes your epigenetics to change. And when your immune system weakens, this could help the germ survive. Your epigenetics can help infections, or it can even make infections worse. Cancer. Now it says some of your epigenetic changes can cause a higher risk of developing cancer. And just like infections, it can either help it or not help it. And in some research, it shows that with your epigenetics, you can tell what kind of cancer you have and how far along the cancer is, or even find it. Now, pregnancy. Now, when you are pregnant with your child, your behavior and your environment also affects the baby's epigenetics. No matter at what time before, your epigenetics could change while you're still in your mother's womb. Now, here's an example of generation 1, generation 2, and generation 3. Now, it says here, a woman who smokes while pregnant induces epigenetic changes in 3 generations at once, in herself, her unborn daughter, and her daughter's reproductive cells. Now, you can see here the color changes, and you could tell, she's thinner, and she gets more obese over time because of the smoking. How are researchers exploring the epigenome? Here. Now, there are many functions and many chemical tags that researchers are finding every day. And one of the big things are researchers are trying to find a way that your epigenetics could help with infections and diseases. Now, here are my sources, my glossary.